Hello folks, Horace Lever here again. On January the 30th, the NGO Stand Up for Jamaica held a news conference where it launched a policy paper closing the gap, Human Rights for the Mentally Ill in Jamaica. It was an unusual event since policy documents are normally government terrain. What was Stand Up for Jamaica trying to achieve? What was it authorizing? The Ministry of Health was not even represented among the 30 people listening to the panel of experts. As the policy paper sets out, the gap was identified by PAHO in a 2019 report. This report indicated the prevalence of mental health disorders in Jamaica, under-resourced and focused on institutional care, whereas the global trend is towards community involvement. The report's finding, in addition to the impact of untreated conditions, was that there was urgent need for systemic reform. Systemic reform. So this launch of the policy paper was to get a national campaign going to address systemic issues relating to the 200 mentally ill in institutions of correction, their inhumane conditions, lack of medical care, inadequate legal representation, violation of constitutional rights. INDECOM's 2020 report revealed the situation in the present prisons also. It exposed the case of Noel Chambers, who after 40 years of detention awaiting trial, died there in detention at the age of 81. His autopsy revealed bed sores, the worst of them, emaciation, absolute neglect. But this highly regrettable incident had the effect of moving the authorities to provide 9 posts for psychiatrists, 11 for psychologists, and another 11 for medical officers, where before there had only been a single post for all of these positions. This information was imparted to the meeting by Dr. Royer Pau, Director of Medical Services of the Department of Correctional Services. She informed that the appropriate infrastructure was still lacking and that there was only one room for consultation, so that the others had to await their turn sitting on a single bench outside the consultation room. Carla Gulata, Executive Director of Stand Up for Jamaica, disclosed a similar situation elsewhere. The praiseworthy creation of a medical center and infirmary at Tamarind Farm, but at the same time, the need for many more such institutions. Gulata explained that effective treatment comprises the 4 stages of prevention, early assessment, rehabilitation, and inclusion, making it possible, and that making this possible would have to go appropriate legislation and court institutions, a system of regular reviews to determine a person's fitness to plead. That's where the court comes in, and the community and family role. Conference panelist and former Indicom director Terence Williams of Public Law Chambers deplored the sluggishness of the courts in reviewing the cases of the mentally unsound. Such persons, he pointed out, are powerless in dealing with the government. They have nowhere else to go, no one else to turn to, but a court and a judge. So the court's input is critical, it's absolutely necessary. Gullotta made the point at the conference that mental disorders and homelessness go hand in hand. She described the place she directs in Portland, the parish of Portland, for the homeless and mentally disordered. Through training, some have learned to talk where they couldn't before. Many to fashion craft items. Others to care for animals, rabbits, chickens, goats, earning some income thereby, which the institution badly needs. Another wonderful outcome has been that 4 inmates have been unable to go to school. 2 have been able to go to their homes. This venture is the alternative to institutional detention. It is a model that deserves to be emulated. It's much more than the drop-in center of the Ministry of Local Government. Their bed and breakfast option, after it, the drop-ins simply go back out unchanged. Their rights remain overlooked. But it's above all the rights of the mentally ill that cry out for attention, the humanity they have in common with the mentally healthy. With that message, brothers and sisters, I leave you until the next time.